Howdy everybody, this is Tyson with Fuel Systems Research and Development. Okay, what I have here is I'm in the process of building a rocket mass heater for in my house. So, that's my 55-gallon drum, and I have a hole cut in it in order to get this installed once it's all welded together. I'm going to have to weld this piece to this piece first, then stick it down inside and through out the hole, and weld it to the barrel and put some supports inside the barrel to hold it up and support it well. And then once that's installed and welded all together, then I will put this feed, the wood feed portion on. So it's gonna be a J-tube, and I made this wood feed a little bit taller on purpose because I'm gonna cap the top of it after the wood's in. It's going to be closed, and the air is going to draw in. Majority of the air is going to draw in from this portion right here. So, I did it that way. It burns a little bit better. So I've done a lot of research on it, and it seems to burn a little bit better if the air comes through over here with a little bit of it coming through right here. So we'll find out how well it actually works. So you can see the way that I have this cut out right here is it's cut out in the shape of a saddle so that it will sit nicely on this pipe, and I also cut it so that right here where the circle's cut out of it, this portion right here is a little bit longer than this portion. That way it sits on this piece right here at an angle so that the wood feeds in better. Wood doesn't feed, or pellets. I'm going to have it be one or the other. I'm going to have a little pellet feeder option for it, or regular wood feed. But with the pellets, from the research that I've done, it seems that the pellets feed a little better if this feed tube right here is at a slight angle instead of a complete vertical up and down. So we shall see. Alright guys, got it all welded together. What I decided to do, instead of cut a hole in the barrel to put this through, like cutting the lines up next to the hole that are there, what I'm doing is I'm going to cut it in half right here, then stick the one in through the barrel, weld it, and then support it, and then weld the other piece to it, to the piece that I cut. So we'll get that done and then show you what happens. Alright, got it spliced now, cut in half, whatever you want to call it. And I did put marks on the other side, going across this direction. I just grinded a little mark across in a couple of places. That way when I stick this piece in the barrel through the hole and get it all welded together and leveled, when I go to put this end on right here, we can line those marks up with one another, and it will be perfectly in line with this portion. So that's it for that part, and I will show you what it looks like once we stick this side in, get it mounted and welded up, and then we will weld that piece to this piece. Alright guys, like I said, I've got this cut in half. Now I'm placing this pipe in the barrel. And I got some places grinded off so I can do some supports, and then at the bottom I have a support at the base of this that's sitting against the floor of the barrel to help hold it up that way as well. This way in transport it doesn't dent this all the heck down here where it's going to be welded onto. So now that this is through, I marked my line to line it up with the barrel. That way it stays centered and we know where the line is to keep it centered. And now we're going to weld this piece right here onto the barrel, and then once that's done we will weld these two pieces together. making sure that our lines are matching up with each other. So, one other thing too, when you are doing steel that's this thick, is you have to put a taper on it, because you have to basically do a fill weld, because this is going to need to have strength to it, so it is structural. And when you're using thicker steel, you do need to taper it. So we ground an angle down on this. That way when we butt the two pieces together, you can do a fill weld to make sure that it's strong and holds and lasts. So once we get that welded up, we will be back.